I hate my body. If I believe the thought or think the thought, my body loves to be fat, I hate it because I hate being fat or thinking that I'm fat. So I then in turn hate my body because I think it's doing this to me because it wants to be fat. I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm completely defeated. I feel helpless. Like there's nothing I can do. I'm fighting an uphill battle. It has been a hot minute. Cameras over here. You guys, I'm so happy to be back. I hopped over to TikTok and have been having a lot of fun with those 15 to 60 second videos. Those things are awesome. But I do love talking. I love talking, really. I love teaching. So I'm back with a phenomenal lesson. You guys are really gonna enjoy this because the garbage that came out of me last night, I know that you guys can relate to this so deeply. And it sucks and it hurts. I looked at my own words and it was crushing that is what comes out of me. So I thought it was very important to teach you guys what I do, how I transform that. Because if you don't, the stuff just stays inside like a toxic poison and it eats away at you and it's how you see life and it sucks. So I'm gonna teach you the tools, the exact tools that I use or that I'm currently using because it's always about the inner work and you're gonna get a lot of value from this. So I'm so happy you're here. Let's go. Little backstory. Last night I totally went unconscious and ate like a shit ton of these really yummy like acai bites. And it wasn't even about what I was eating. It was an unconscious behavior and I knew it. I like couldn't stop. It would just, and I wasn't eating for nutritional value. I was eating for something deeper and I didn't know why. And I know at some time, you know, this was a helpful tool for me and I just let it happen. I just watched it and I let it happen. And usually activities like that can really bring up like this deep shame that we have, right? What a piece of shit you are for doing that. Because we're very conditional in our self-love. So I have love for you, meaning the self. I love you, Amity, when you act appropriately, when you eat a certain diet. I have love for you. And then when you eat outside of what I think is the right diet, just utter hatred. You are just garbage. So that happened yesterday and I just watched it unfold. I watched myself go completely unconscious and just shovel this. I must have had like 10. But it wasn't even about what I ate. It was the behavior. It was a very addict behavior where I just needed a release and I went to town. And the beautiful thing, which is the result of all the inner work that I do and obsess with and teach, is that I had enough awareness to be the observer and to watch it happen. So I was existing in both places. I was the one doing the behavior, but I was also the one observing what was happening. And it was just this radical experience. And I had been there before, and I have completely shamed myself beyond recognition when I've done that before. And I let that come up. So I did a lot of writing about it. And that is the words that you see. I am fat and disgusting. My body is gross and will never change. My body loves to be fat. I will never lose weight or live in my ideal body. I can't figure out what I need to do to be lean. I hate my fucking self. I'm pathetic. I'm a fat, lazy loser. A pathetic fat loser doomed to carry this blanket of fat forever. I can't say no to sweets. I was stupid to think I could. You are a complete and utter failure. Look at you now, loser, stuffing your face and getting fatter by the second. Stop trying, you worthless piece of shit. I mean, wow. Tell me that your self-talk sounds very similar. You don't have to tell me, I already know. We're human, so I know that it sounds similar. The words might be different, but it's still the same gist. You're a piece of garbage. So that came out of me last night. And the thing I want to share with you is I didn't feel this way because I ate all that crap. I ate all that crap because this lives inside me. And until this is healed, until I heal this, the behavior is not going to change. So that's the key lesson here. If you're trying to make changes on the outside, but don't ever go to the core, which is this kind of stuff, these feelings of worthlessness, the changes are not going to be sustainable. It's just you're going to continue to set yourself up for failure because you're not going to the root, you're not going to the cause. You're trying to change it on the side of the effect, which may work for a little while, but it's not the answer. So I did all that. That behavior was a direct result, a clear fucking sign. Look what's inside. Look what lives within you. And again, thank God I had enough awareness to know what was happening. So I'm gonna share with you exactly how I broke down the stuff that came out of me. And let me just tell you, you have to approach it with a sense of love and understanding. This girl, I also wanna note, I started with I am fat and lazy, my body, and then as I progress, it turned to you. You are a complete and utter failure. So at what point in my psyche did I go from I to you? Something else is talking to me. And that part is me, but it's a shadow part. It's a part that is not very happy with me. She's been very neglected and she's hurting. If you hear these words, that is from a part of me that is hurting deeply. So my first tip on navigating this is always to meet yourself with love and understanding and grace. There is no place for judgment or self-hate. I mean, this part of you is already feeling hated. And if you meet it with hate, you're not gonna get anywhere. And the universe will just bring you more and more experiences for you to finally get the lesson and get the healing that you need. So you can just continue. If you want to meet yourself with hate, just expect similar situations to happen for you. However, good news on this end, I was able to meet myself with loving kindness. And then I worked the shit out of this paragraph here. And the tool that I'm currently using, you guys, is Byron Katie's Loving What Is. She has a very simple 4-step question process where you literally bump up every thought against these 4 questions. And what's really great about it is she gives you total permission to just be as petty as possible. Like, don't try to be sweet, don't try to sugarcoat it, don't try to be nice and polite because that's what you're taught. Just get your ugliest, pettiest, meanest crap out on paper so you can see that stuff is dying to come out anyway. It wants to be seen, it wants to be heard. You get that petty bitch inside you, let her out. So I bumped up this goodness, this gold that came out of me against these 4 questions, which are so simple, so brilliant. And I'm gonna show you exactly what I did. I'm gonna work a few and show you them. So the 4 questions are, is it true? Can I absolutely know that it's true? How do I react? What happens when I believe that thought? Who would I be without the thought? Those are the 4 questions, and then there's a turnaround. So you turn it around, which I'll show you what that is, and then we find 3 examples to support the turnaround. And the turnaround is probably my favorite part because anytime you change perception, it's like, oh, okay, I see. When you can get someone else's point of view, there's expansion. And you're a multidimensional human, and ultimately we have the skill to see things from multiple perspectives. It just takes a little training because we've been trained not to see it. So let's walk through. I am fat and disgusting. Ouch. So is it true? Ultimately, no, it's not true. So if we look at how do I react, what happens when I believe this thought, and that's the other key here, it's just a thought. It's not truth. I've already identified it's not truth, it's just a thought, a practice thought, because I've been thinking this for as long as I can remember. So it's very ingrained, it's a very practiced thought. And how I react, what happens when I believe this thought, is I feel awful. I feel completely worthless, hopeless, like utterly hopeless. That is a shitty feeling. To have zero hope, to feel like garbage. No. And then from that place, I'll make really unhealthy choices because I already feel so much self-hate. Like, why would I care for myself? I don't. So then I make choices that ultimately harm me because I don't care about myself. So it's just, the whole thing is disastrous. But really recognizing what happens. You can also look at like physicality. So my body runs hot. My face will get hot, my stomach will get hot. So you can recognize what's happening to the physiology as well, because you're not unaffected by these thoughts. The whole body is responding. So it's just like this toxin cesspool. So not only do I have this thought of like, I'm fat and disgusting, hurts me in my heart, it's also hurting my physical body because it's pumping out certain chemicals and it's responding to the frequency of that thought, which is very low. So my whole system, my whole energetic physical body system hurts from this one thought. And here's the brilliance. Who would I be without this thought? I am fat and disgusting. And she asks for you to pause and close your eyes and really just to sit in that reality. I'm happy. I'm lighter. I already feel lighter in my body when I release that thought. I feel leaner. I feel more joy. I feel a relief in my system. You know, more movement, more energetic flow. Just by tuning into reality where that thought doesn't exist of I'm fat and disgusting. And then here's the best part, the turnaround, which is my favorite. There's a couple ways we can do this. We can actually flip it to its opposite. So I looked up the opposites, and I am fat and disgusting. A turnaround would be I am lean and attractive. So that's a thought that I could use that feels good and is supporting. The other way you can do a turnaround is place the not in there. So I am not fat and disgusting. So I prefer the I am lean and attractive. Then we look at 3 supportive ways to support that new thought. So I'm lean and attractive. We have, I could be larger. Really? I could be a lot larger. So when you think fat, you know, yeah. And I said I'm lean in some places, right? I have a thin neck. And some of my other places are kind of lean, so I attached onto that. And then I've been able to attract some good-looking partners. So that speaks to my attractiveness. And those were my 3 supportive goals to I am fat and disgusting. That's the work. That's the whole process. Now, you know that whole paragraph I read you? You do that painstaking work to every single one of those sentences. So next up, my body is gross and will never change. Again, soul sucking. Is it true? No, it's not true. Our bodies are constantly changing, and it totally, absolutely could change. So let me just tell you, if you don't answer any of the other questions, ask yourself, start questioning your thoughts. Like, make that a daily, a given. Don't believe any thought that you have. Unless it's supportive and loving and feels true, you know, hang on to those. But otherwise, start questioning every single thought that floats in. Is that true? How do I know it's true? How can I absolutely know it's true? Just that alone, starting that inquiry process, puts you in next level awareness and thinking. And then you're not so susceptible just to the whim of life or believing every stinking thought that comes in your mind. This is work, which is the juiciness of what I love to do. I love this work. This is what I do for fun on the weekend. This stuff excites me, and I love to talk about it, and I love to teach it. So, if you don't do any of the other steps, start asking, start questioning, is this true? And if the answer is yes, how do I absolutely know that it's true? And do you? Just a simple yes or no. Let's do one more for shits and giggles, okay? My body loves to be fat. Is it true? No. I do not believe that my body loves to be fat. I believe that my body is doing everything it can to be healthy. Then we look at how do I react? How do I be when I believe this thought? I hate my body. If I believe the thought or think the thought, my body loves to be fat, I hate it because I hate being fat or thinking that I'm fat. So I then in turn hate my body because I think it's doing this to me because it wants to be fat. I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm completely defeated. I feel helpless. Like there's nothing I can do. I'm fighting an uphill battle. So who would I be without this thought of my body loves to be fat? I'd be really happy. Again, I would feel lighter, I would feel free, I would feel more joy. I'd probably feel leaner. If I believed that my body wanted to be healthy and well, I would feel better. I would respect it. Without the thought, my body loves to be fat, I would have a really high regard and respect and honor for my body if I didn't believe that it wanted to be fat. For the turnaround, I did my body loves to be lean. So you can say my body does not love being fat as a turnaround, or my body loves to be lean, which is a turnaround, which is an opposite. The other kind of idea that she gives you is you can input the words my thinking. You can change out the issue with my thinking. So instead of like my body loves to be fat, it could be like my thinking loves to be fat. And then, you know, however you interpret that data. So that's another tool. So again, I'm so glad to be back. I love to teach long form. I could talk forever about inner work. And it's so important that we do this work, especially women. We are called to do amazing things and to transform the whole consciousness of the planet. So more women have to wake up to their own divinity, to their own power. And that is my mission here, is to teach you guys, to give you the tools so that you can cultivate your own awakening. I will share with you, I will guide with you, I will teach you all of that, but you have to empower yourself. No one can do that for you. It's time for you to take responsibility for your life, for your past, for your choices, for all of it. Because what happens in that moment when you do that, ladies, is you get your power back and you feel empowered. Essentially, your power never left you. It just feels like that because we project it onto all these other places. But when you finally get your thinking right, you can feel that sense of power returning. And that's so important, because all of you women are here on a divine guided path. And if you're not conscious and healing yourself, you're not gonna be able to share your gifts with the world. And we so desperately need you to be here and to share and be who you are, your authentic, true self, not your wounded self, because that's just dysfunction. So as with every single one of my videos, it is my deep, deep prayer that this work and the information that I share helps you in some very profound and transformational way. I have all the info on my website. If you're interested in doing a close one-on-one coaching session with me, I offer 3-month packages, as well as some just one-on-ones. If you want to meet one time, you just have one issue that you need some guidance with, I have that availability. Or if you really want to partner with me and we'll make some real changes in your thinking and your mindset and your life, because it always starts with you. It's always, always, always you. Everything is a projection, a mirror of your inner self. So you have to go to the root. If you want the projection to change, you have to change the inside. And everything I share is with that in mind. These are all tools for you to help shift the inside so that your outside can change. So glad to be back, YouTube. Thank you for having me. I am just honored to do this work, to speak, to share. Thank you for being here and thank you for watching. I love you. Thumbs up, subscribe, share if you found it helpful. I didn't eat all that crap because, no. Shh. Let me adjust the lighting here, folks. Oh. I use natural lighting, if you're wondering. I am an earth mama, so the sun is my love. Okay, that's better. So, whoa, okay, let me go back. 16 minutes. Oh, you know what? Okay, let's do this. Oh, I kind of need that light then, huh? All right. What should I do about this light? Should we leave it? Is it like sparkles? Who would I be without this thought? Oh, I think I forgot to do that on the last one. Oh no, I did.